How's it going, guys, and welcome back to BL3's Forgotten, the series where I take a look at underused and not often talked about pieces of gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game or should be left behind and forgotten. And today we are taking a look at the Crader's EM-P5. If you'd like to farm the EM-P5 for yourself, you're going to want to fast travel over into the Guts of Carnivora, making your way all the way through until you hit the save station just in front of Agonizer's arena. Jump on down, kill Agonizer, and you can get yourself the Crader's EM-P5. Do keep in mind though, this gun will only drop on Mayhem 4 and above. Along with that, it can also drop from Wotan and the Valkyrie squad in Molly 1 Takedown, but Agonizer has the highest drop chance. The Crader's EM-P5 is a legendary Dahl SMG, unable to roll in any elements, and being able to roll with 1 or 2 projectiles per shot for 1 or 2 ammo costs per shot respectively. While on the ground with the EM-P5 in your hand, you will gain 25% movement speed, but while you're airborne, you will lose that movement speed and instead gain 80% crit damage and 200% accuracy. The EM-P5 has received 2 buffs, initially gaining that critical hit damage while airborne, which was later followed up by an 80% overall weapon damage increase. So quickly to start off here with the projectile counts, ×2 was definitely outputting more damage than ×1 and noticeably so, but what was far more noticeable than the jump in damage was the jump in ammo consumption. ×1 is already pretty ammo hungry due to the super fast fire rate of this thing, and ×2 just takes it to the next level and not really for all that much gain. Again, the damage bump is noticeable, but it's nothing too crazy. I would generally just stick to a ×1. Now, the EM-P5 isn't really forgotten because there's definitely tons of people that run it for the utility of its on-the-ground movement speed, but I feel like most people don't even know that it gives damage buffs while in the air, so I thought it was worth covering a non-forgotten utility weapon to see how it functions as an actual weapon on its own. And you know what? It was shockingly fucking good. I was very surprised to see it was not only working on True Guardian Takedown, but it put in fucking work at True Guardian Takedown. It's not just good, it's not just viable, it's genuinely up there with a lot of high-tier weapons, which is especially impressive considering it's both non-splash and non-elemental. Then crit damage, while being additive, does just seem to be going quite a long way. Worth keeping in mind with that though, the crit on card is multiplicative with other crit bonuses, which I imagine is definitely helping a hell of a lot and makes that a pretty impactful roll to get. Pretty cool synergy as well I noticed with specifically True Guardian Takedown is that the low gravity is incredibly synergistic with the airborne effect due to, well, being airborne longer with every jump. Very nice, and almost makes me wish this gun just came with inbuilt low gravity while in hand, which would be a fucking awesome effect for a weapon. Gearbox, hire me, I'll work for free. Now coming back to the ammo consumption, it is definitely a bit of an issue with this weapon. Even with the ×1, that fire rate does mean you're consuming ammo fast and reloading a hell of a lot due to a somewhat small base mag size. I mean, with just the base mag and base fire rate, you'll blow through your mag in under a second and a half, making mag size increases incredibly impactful with this gun. The fire rate being this high does end up being very helpful though. You don't really get too much time in the air in normal gravity, which means it's important to be able to dump out as many bullets into a crit as possible during that time. I do sort of wish the EMP was able to come as a burst fire because of this, since you end up normally just bursting it most of the time anyways. And also finally worth mentioning, by far this gun was the worst on Amara just due to her damage formula relying most on abusing elemental and or splash damage tailings. And while it is still solid on her, it's just a lot worse than on everyone else. It just sort of feels like you're kneecapping yourself while using it. Overall though, the Crader's EM-P5 is an incredibly solid weapon in its own right, which is especially surprising considering how many people probably use this thing just as a utility gun to get around and don't realize that what they're holding could actually be a very solid weapon. It's a simple weapon that works incredibly well across all the content in the game, and I did find it to be quite enjoyable to use. But that's about do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all that. Down in the description will be a link to my Twitch channel where you can follow to be notified of when I go live, and just under that is a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.